Right at 8 o'clock. Right on time. Hey, I'm here. Anyways, let's go join the server. I'm going to guess you're already on, random person. Well, what have you? Oh, okay. Okay. Wait. Random person! Great. Alright. Oop. Yeah. Just a quick suggestion, random person. Don't trade with the villagers until I've at least traded with them, because the reason why I don't trade with them immediately is because if I trade with them immediately, we don't get the best trades. So yeah, just something to remind you of. I think one of the members last season did the exact same thing. Thankfully, they should have food on them still, and they'll be able to breed again. Alright. Let me just get rid of this. Yep. Yeah, see? What did I tell you? They're already breeding over here. Okay. Ouch. I meant to put up a sign. What is a stone brick doing in here? Meow, 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 meow. Alright, sign. A second, this is a dark oak sign. I need an oak sign so people can actually read the text. Oh yeah, we've got a skeleton farm. I don't need bones. Just need to finish building the diorite. Wait, what diorite? Excuse me. I just had a thought. We should probably put a lightning thing, lightning protector above this villager, because if lightning strikes him, he turns into a witch, and then the farm stops working. It happened once last season. The railroad is on the diorite in the sky. Ah. Well, now I just have to wait for them to fall back asleep. What time is it during this Minecraft day? You know what? I'll go check out your railroad while we wait. Or I wait. Wait, what? Also, random person, I'm in VC1 if you want to join. Yeah, I'm not sure. Thanks to Eker and the boss for assistance with the building. Pool below. Yep. Alright, epic. There's no minecarts. No. Oh well, we have an iron farm. I like the polished diorite with this track. It looks seriously good. You've done a really good job, random person. Or wait, hold up. I'll remember it. Hold up, give me a moment. I'll remember your actual name in a moment. Hold on. What was it? Come on, Ben, remember. For real, also that. Yeah, no problem, random person, no problem. Hey, dude, random person, I got some diorite. You can take it if you want. This place looks horrible. Oh boy. I mean, like, creeper hole there. Ooh, I think it's time for a harvest. I see potato. I see potato. No, it was just too short. And sometimes you think they should remain. Yeah, that's true. They tell a good story of how you fought one and then stupidly died. Okay. Oh my gosh, I thought I destroyed the ground there. Anyways, stack of carrots. Stack and a half of wheat. The potatoes. Stack and a half. There. I think that should be enough. So one of these is for carrots. Next one's for wheat. Oh geez, dripping with honey. Oh. Luckily, diorite is abundant underground. Yeah. And another one for potatoes. Wait, hold up. No, not another one for potatoes. Not yet. There we go. Random trade llama. Yeah, I know. I was one of the videos of NPM on my channel. You'll just see me mining in this underground mine, in this cave. Yeah, underground mine, perfect. Underground mine, yes. But you'll see me mining in this cave, and all of a sudden fall, I believe, and there will just be a wandering trader right there. Okay, 2 more lines. Okay, so I now know what I need. I was like, did I just hear a cat? And then I remembered my friend has their cat attic. What if the wandering trader spawns a ton more than we think? They just die or spawn in tiny underground caves. Well, if you're talking about, like, from a lore standpoint, oh my gosh. But if you're talking, like, actually, no. That's one spicy meatball. Oh my gosh, it's night. Yeah. Clunk. What? Oh no, they can't get over for whatever reason because they're stupid. There. Oh look, iron. Alright, come on, get into your beds. Including you. Oh, no. No, I'm too young to die. I'm too young to die. Got 4 stacks, nice. But yeah, random person, if you need any diorite, just, you can just take some from my chest. I mean, I have no use for it anyway, so... No, excuse me. That's one of spicy meatball. I think 4 stacks is enough to finish it. It is almost complete. All right. Just saying, if you ever need some. You are like green. They are trapped. Yes, they are trapped. They are mine forever. And this is what you call human trafficking. Oh, that was a horrible, horrible joke. Alright, well. I have a stack plus of diamonds, and I still worry about repairing it. Repairing what? Your pickaxe? You're evil. No, I'm not. I'm just a Minecrafter. Any Minecrafter, if you know any Minecrafter, most of them enslave villagers to do their bidding. Whether it be automatic farming or good trading hall. Alright. Wake up! Okay, good. What do you have for trade? Bookshelves. No. Whoops. How about now? Bookshelf. No. Slavery's key. I know, right? No, stop giving me bookshelves. Great, you broke my axe. You broke my favorite axe. Why? This season I should get to building my creeper farm. Anyways, oh yeah, why do I have that? Let's see. Axe. May I ask you a question? I'm not funny, I know that. Alright, seriously. Do I not have any axes? Okay, well. It's time to pull out the riches. I'm going strong. I'm going for the diamond axe. Ooh, what was that? What was that? Oh, Chapter! Hello, Chapter, thank you for the follow. Thank you, friend. But hey, Chapter, how are ya? Okay, seriously. Wait. Oh, okay. For a moment, I thought I was still on the starting soon screen. I'm tired. Pepega moment. I don't know if emotes appear for me, but because if that was an emote, I didn't see it. But because I am not enriched in the Twitch culture yet. I might have started streaming on here a year ago, but I still don't understand most of it. I do know Pepega though. Oh, okay. Okay, so they do show up. Got it. Well, that's something good to know. Because I'm using Restream to help me stream on multiple platforms, and I'm using their chat system so I can see all my chats at once. I'm sorry. Is this a joke? What type of joke is this? 'Cause it's horrible. I think it's just as bad as GH. Wait a second. Fire Aspect 2 is the highest you can go for Fire Aspect, isn't it? Dang it! No. Just give me something good. Bruh. I know. I realized it a little too late. Ooh! Ooh! Crossbows! Wait. Yeah, that's crossbows. Oh! Should I get it? Random person, what do you think? Random person. Bruh, how are you gonna kill silverfish without Bane of Arthropods? Eh. You'll make do. But do you think we should get it? Yes? Do it? Do it. Alright. It's not bedtime! Get up! Get up! There we go. Ching. That's another emerald right there. Alright, I'm going to... You have no idea? Well, crossbows. That'll be a crossbow enchantment. Anyways, where's all my sugarcane? Sugarcane. Don't forget the sugarcane in here. Oh, more sugarcane here. Just call me the sugarcane god, why don't ya? Ouch. I'm fine. I already had brain damage before. Oh my gosh. So much paper. I have all reliable for my range purposes, yeah. No idea what that is, but yeah. Alright. Next villager to be transformed. All the way over there, second to last. Got it. Alright, I'm looking mainly for mending. Nope, you suck. No, you suck. Stop giving me bookshelves. It's an OP bow. Nice. Do it! Turn! Wait. Oh, there we go. Fire protection 2. That's no. That's a no. That's gonna have to be a no for me. Feather falling 1. I'm only going for 4. Oh yes, please give one with mending. Yeah. It's going to take some time, but I'll get to it. Sharpness 1. No. Give me sharpness 5. Would be so nice. I know, right? I have an elytra. How do you think I'll feel? I will be all powerful. You will not be able to stop me. Oh, hey, look, more iron. All right, come on. Come on. Yeah, oh no. Come on. No! Also, do you have some gold for power rails? I might. I might. Not sure, but I might. Alright. Alright, come on. No! I have an axe if you haven't noticed. An axe! I know. Knock back one. Don't tell me all their lowest levels are now just low level enchants. Ooh! Ooh, yes, please! Paper. Now that's what I'm talking about. Alright, who's the next? You are, okay. No. God. This is the most boring part, just because I'm looking for those very specific enchants. Also because we've already defeated the Ender Dragon. I can't remember if random person was there. I think he was. Ooh, infinity. Yes, please. So close to being done. Nice. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be you. Dang it, it's you. Yeah, it's free. Yes! 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 Burn! 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 Alright, no. Thorns 2, no. I would rather Thorns 4! They're all just going to be librarians because what else? What is better than a librarian? I'll tell you something. Nothing. Although, I. Yes! 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 We did it! We are the champions, my friend. Copyright infringement is at my doorway now. Please help me. Ooh, change you over there. Hello, random person. We got mending now. For a moment. No. You know, you could join the VC, random person, and get quicker updates to what I'm saying. You know that, right? Respiration 1, no. Respiration 3. Sharpness 2, no. Sharpness 5. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's cheaper! It's cheaper. We must kill... which one of you was the mending expensive? Yeah, don't worry about him. Alright. You two are now free to get... Oh, no. Oh, no, I forgot. No. Alright, there. Alright. Let me go get some carrots. Wait, hold up. Fortune 3, no, not yet. We've got looting 3, but no fortune 3. Alright, you know what? Let's finish off all of my wood. Where is the rest of my sticks? I know I just had some. There they are. Only 7. Dang it. Alright, anyways. What was I going for? So, I'll take some paper. Right, carrots. Carrots. Oh, and did you say, yeah, I have some gold. Hold up. Where did I put my, there it is. Ah, yeah, I've got a lot. Holy cow. Okay. Oh, holy. You know what? This is now holy cow. It is literally Jesus Christ in a cow. Oh my gosh, it's a holy cow. Oh wait, hold up, coal. There it is. I don't think that's gonna be enough. Where's more coal? Oh yeah, here. Gold, gold. Seriously, do I not have any other coal here? No problem, no problem. I guess I don't have any more coal. And I'm almost out already. Wow. Can I use a wither skull? A wither skeleton skull? Can I just use that? I may build a less intrusive railway to other people's homes, and just a smaller one for getting from my house to yours. Alright. Efficiency 2, no. Where? Excuse me. Where is fuel? Right. Fuel is in furnaces. Fuel is in super smelter, that's right. Yeah, that's right, that's all in there. Oh well. I'll smelt it all up another time. Anyways, oh, that's a potion. What was I looking for? Yes, carrots, carrots, carrots. What a pretty view without all those trees in the way. Alright. Oh, wait, no. They eat bread. I don't know if they eat carrots. I don't think they do, but let's just make a bunch of bread then. Alright. What? No, wait, how'd they get out? How'd they get out? How'd they get out? Oh, yeah. Dang it. Oh, are you going home? No, where are you going? It's turning night. Also, what do you sell? Infinity. Okay, yeah, you get in there. Yeah, I need blocks. Sleep. We need to sleep so that they can so I can get new librarians. Ouch. There. All right. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I wanted to change. I forgot. I need to go to my my point shop. My what's it called? Shop. Loyalty shop. That's it. And need to delete face reveal for 10 million quarters. That's why I said you should just bring a bed wherever you go. Ouch. What the heck? It's like, wait a second, did it go through that fence? Surprisingly, nobody has bought VIP yet. Or quarter collector. Which quarter collector is a lot better. Yay! I do have a problem, a shulker box, so pace isn't a problem. Okay. Give me that axe. Let me see my chat again. There we go. No bookshelves. No. Ooh! Unbreaking a 3. Spicier. That's one spicier meatball. Okay. It's you right here, okay. Also, I can now fix that. Depth Strider 3. Wait, hold up. Hold up. How high does Depth Strider go? Because, does it go up to 3 or does it go up to 4? I can't remember. I think the max is 3. Yeah, Depth Strider. Max level 3. Yeah, okay. It is 3. So, this guy's pretty good. Okay, it's you over here. What do you have? Fortune 1. Yeah, you're not a good one. Silk Touch. Ooh, yes, Silk Touch. Silk Touch, yes. My problem is going to be when I have to, one of those villagers becomes a librarian, because that's going to lead to problems. Frostwalker 2. Frostwalker 4 is better. Wait, hold up. It's 4, right? I can't remember. I'm losing my mind. Oh, no, it's 2. Well, 2's still stupid. Frostwalker's just stupid in general. Although, I guess it is good for going over oceans. I'm sorry, what? Hold up. You trade Depth Strider 3 for 39 emeralds. You do it for 38 emeralds. I see this as an absolute win. Come on. Let me in. I can do it. I know. I've done it before. Hold up. You know what? Screw it. Ouch. Did it. Anyways. It was you, correct? Yep. Okay. Punch 2. Ooh. Punch 4, I think it's the max, right? Punch. What? No! Wait. Oh, increases knockback. Okay. Okay, yeah. Punch isn't that good. I thought it did a lot more than just knockback. If anything, I would want power on my bow. Anyways, come on. Okay. Depth Strider 2. Yeah, no. Quick Charge 1. No. I'd rather get 3. No. My bow is power 4. Nice. Efficiency 2. Ooh, good. But I'd rather efficiency 5. Lure 2. Oh, wait, hold up. How much does lure go for? 3. You suck! Also, railroad finally completely. Nice! Oh. That looks so good! No! Are you serious? It goes up to 5. You know what? I'm going until until I get 5. Alright. Respiration 3. Wait. Respiration. Okay, 3 is the max. Oh my gosh. Hold up. 37 emeralds. 19 emeralds. No. Wait, lure 3. Hold up. Lure. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, yes, lure. Lure 3, yes. That is going to be good for book hunt. No, your respiration. What are you? You're the lure, okay. Before I start converting any other villagers, I should just trade up all these guys so we can see their next trades. At least if they're book trades. Yeah, so alright, that's a little more for you. You don't have another book trade yet. Silk Touch 1, you do have a next book trade. You do. Oh, wait, hold up. Death Strider 3 for 38. Hold up. Respiration. Mending. Lure. Infinity. I thought I saw... Huh. Oh, well. What about you? You don't have another book trade. I will upgrade all these to the next level eventually, but... for now, it's just those who have a book trade. Alright. Okay. Question is, where do you sleep? Because I need to make sure it's in front of your bed. Hmm. Need some roses for a red bed? Nah, I don't need any beds right now. Plus, we got an infinite amount. But we do have some pretty good trades over here so far. Oh my gosh, this thing is lined with sugarcane. Time to harvest. Because sugarcane. It wasn't a question. Yes. Now it is a question. Deal with it. Also, yeah, that's the sugarcane I placed for easy emeralds. Yeah. A lot of these guys already have some pretty good trades. Alright, all the beds have been filled. Okay, I thought I was stuck there. Oh, okay. Let's see, bookshelves now. Ooh, mending for 10. Who was the original mending? Who has mending? Mending for 14. Ooh. Place some more dirt inside the water for sugarcane. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways, who was it that had mending? Okay. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You just weren't cutting it. Anyways. Oh my gosh, are you serious? I keep placing it right in front of them. No, no, no. Fire aspect 1. No. Knockback 1. No. Look at the C2. No. I think it goes up to 4, right? Let's see. Luck of the sea. Luck of the sea. Yeah, no, it goes up to 3, so that's still no good. Imagine if villagers just started hating you if you continuously broke their workbench. Or at least just broke their workbench. And some villagers, I feel like whenever you spawn into a new world and you enter a village, I don't know if this is just normal Minecraft or not, but I feel like piercing 3. Yeah, it goes up to 4, and I think we've already got a piercing 4, so. I was thinking, whenever you start up a new world. The heck? Oh, did my phone just die? Okay, my old Samsung Galaxy S6 just died, I think. Fire protection 1, no. But I feel like villagers, I'm not sure if this is in game or not, but whenever you spawn into a new world and enter a village, some of the villagers should have like higher work levels. So like, you might have a diamond one if you're lucky, but otherwise. That's one spicy meatball. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, you're getting more sugarcane. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna watch because I have nothing else better to do with my life right now, and I don't have any dirt or sugarcane on me, so. I think it needs water. Oh my gosh, I just took that sheep out with 2 shots. You know about One Punch Man? You know about Oh my gosh, I can't speak. One Punch Man? Dirt's up there. Where? I don't know. In those chests. Alright, I'll be back to help in a moment then. Ouch. I just need to get some more food. You shaved them out. Okay, yeah, I see that now. Ooh, potatoes. Potato, poo, poo, potato, poo, potato, poo, poo, potato. Yeah. Literally doing parkour to get around. Oh shoot, why didn't these go in? Oh geez, I'm literally on one last potato. I should have more in my chests. I think, maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm all out of potato. Not for long, though. Potato. Easy potatoes. Alright, next villager. You, good sir, okay. No. 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 Give me that sweet fortune 3. Or efficiency 5. One of the two works. Punch 1, no. I've already gone over punch sucks. Looting, no. We've got a looting 3 already. Piercing 3, no. I believe we've already got a piercing 4. Depth Strider 1, no. We've already got a Depth Strider 3. Oh, what annoying. What an annoyance. Knockback 2, no. No. Multi-shot 1, hold up. How much does... I think it goes up to 3. Hold up, let me check. Multi-shot. Oh my gosh. I'm an idiot. That was the best multi-shot. The only multi-shot, actually. Punch 1. No, shut up with your punch. I will punch you with this trident. Blast protection 3. No, protection 4 is better. No. All of your Minecraft luck in one stream? No. I mean, the best luck would be getting the things you want over and over with all 19 or no, 21 different villagers in here. Yeah, there's 21. Wait, hold up. We've already got a looting 3. Wait, shoot. How much emeralds, though? How many emeralds was it? It's too late. I think that was the only flame book as well. Hold up. Flame. Yeah, only flame. Oh, hello, JC. How are you? Quick charge. How high does quick charge go? Quick charge. Ooh, it goes up to 3. That's